Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. All right, here we go. Distance. I think that's good enough. So, all right, forget about the title. I'll be talking about the same lines, but you know what? I've put all the summary and then it's like, meh, no, not good. So let's actually dive into. So, you know what? I don't know. Credibility is the thing. So why I'm here? Why I'm listening to this person? So here's a couple of facts about me. So journey began some times ago. So during Microsoft DOS FreeBSD 3.1, if anyone remembers the release date, and Debian Potato. That's basically where the journey is beginning for me in terms of InfoSec. But before that, my dad, who has no idea about the computers, brought to home knockoff of ZX80. So yes, knockoff because ZX80 was very expensive and some creative people back then in Ukrainian SSR were able to put them together for affordable price. As a kid, I have no idea what to do with it, but there were games, so I was into it. Also, I do have a Master's of Science in InfoSec, and that's official. I have a paper, and it was free for me, so that's how Ukrainian education worked. So, and as a teenager, I got inspired by this picture is very small on purpose. Who knows? They will understand. But yes, I thought, yeah, they do something with computers. That's great. So let me try InfoSec of theirs and what it is. And right now I work as a VP of Enterprise Security Architecture in one of insurance companies who happen to be a sponsor. So, okay, maybe this dude has some credentials, maybe not, but let's test it out. So why we're here? Why does he talk about? Wow, third person. That's weird feeling. But you know what? The point is that it's actually a little bit, I'll go a little bit down the memory lane. So in 2018, I was presenting in B-Sides Winnipeg, was it Kids Head, about network segmentation and how great it is. And someone from audience asked, hey, what tools are you using? And then I just fired away, yeah, Visio, you know, Word, Pages, any diagramming tools. And since then, I'm like, I feel wrong about it. Like it's the wrong set of things to do the design, delivery, and architecture. And it took me 5 years to come here, or at least solidify the idea. And this idea has a lot of iterations. So basically, there is a couple shout-outs. None of those people in Winnipeg, but maybe they will watch the recording. So at some point in my life, there was a person named Tim. He said like, hey, Oli, you seems to be excited about the code. So how about I'll share with you a test-driven development? Like TDD, okay, that sounds pretty cool. What the hell is it? So there is a project, Cucumber and derivative Gherkin. So apparently, some cool developers, before developing, can write the tests and then write the code on top of the tests. Not a novel idea, very cool, and that started warming up my heart. So team in Blue Bank, thanks for notching me there. Then, in another random conversation over this 5-year span, I was talking to Ben. He's like, hey, do you know about C4? I'm like, yeah, it smells like almonds. How do you know? Doesn't matter. But basically, the point is, it has nothing to do with explosives. It's an architecture framework that can be written as a code. And by the way, there is a team behind actually making it look and feel like a code. So there is a structurizer, if I'm pronouncing it right. So it's a whole framework, and we'll see what it can do. But now I have a tool set that instead of Visio and Word documents or whatever your poison is, I can actually write a code that then can be converted into something. So here is actually why I'm talking. Can a security state of solution before deployment be evaluated? So I want to deploy something that is secure by default. Yeah, I know, everyone, like, I didn't hear size, so I'm doing good. But I was like, yeah, sure, yeah. But let me try it. So, and basically the approach that we will do for that is a test-driven delivery. And honestly, why I'm talking to all of you, I am one person, also I'm somewhat new dad, and it's complicated. I don't have a lot of free time anymore. So I would like to spin it up as a community project and pretty much open source it and make it real. So I'm here to sell you the idea, and I hope you will have a buy-in, and we together can do something cool with it. But before I will be able to sell it to you, let's talk about what it is. So, you know what? Some of you might have a thought like, okay, come on, like that dude is not that smart. Like probably there is something out there. Someone has already did it. I hope so too, because I don't want to do work. I want to reuse. And then I start exercising my Googling foo. That's actually DuckGo, DuckGo. I don't know. I read a lot of kids' books. I don't know how search engines call this this way. So, but the point is that I started searching for the projects that might do this already because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. And I found a couple. Here's just an example. There's in a very small font says that last update was done, whatever, 7 years ago. Kind of dated. And I poked into it. No, that's not what I want. I found a couple more. So I think I'm not reinventing the wheel, but if someone knows something, I'll gladly take it. So let's talk in a nutshell what is the test-driven delivery. So for me it was, and I'll stop saying so, I know. I think I don't do any yet, but they're coming. So for me, test-driven delivery, it is tests that can be easily written and edited by humans. And don't forget, there is different level of human comfort with the code. So some of us are very comfortable, some of us not very comfortable. In order for us to effectively write the tests or effectively sell the tests to the consumers, let's think about project delivery. There will be, in the bigger companies, there will be a requirements analyst, and there will be a bunch of other folks. There will be, of course, a brave architect, usually people who eat crayons, that's me. Then there will be smart engineers who will do all the work and convert all these crazy pictures into something real. But for me, the idea is that test needs to be written and edited by humans easily. So basically, requirements analysts, business analysts should be comfortable with that. And we will look into some examples of potentially easy tests. And then I'll plug in where those tests are going and what we're solving for. So just bear with me. It's a suspense. Maybe it's too long, but bear with me. So, okay, so some of you will say, like, give me a feel and look of those tests. So the feel and look of those tests, if some of you ever looked into control framework NIST SP-153. SP actually stands for Special Publication. Apparently, all of them are special based on NIST, but that's pretty cool. So basically, there is a huge list of controls, and they say, like, you shall do this in order to achieve that. All right, that's pretty cool. It's a good start. Then some of you or most of you are familiar with OWASP. They have top 10 web, top 10 API. So for me, they are advertising testing. They're saying, like, this is your control problems that you can fix. All right, so I think we have a good start. Now we just need to figure out how to make them easy to write and edit by humans. We'll get there, or not, but at least we'll try. I'll try. Then I would like tests that can be easily interpreted and evaluated by machines. So the point why I am going after code, I don't want a second guessing. I don't want to talk to auditors too much. I want to convince auditors that all the tests that we have written are potent, that when we apply them, we are getting not a gut feel, not an estimate, but real data value. That then we can say, like, is it good, average, bad? I don't know. We'll figure it out. So then we need to execute these tests in a lot of environments, so anywhere-ish. And the reason for that, if we're doing everything as a code, and if someone tells me, like, hey, deploy that stuff on, I don't know, that series something from IBM, I know that's a pretty cool thing. I have no idea about mainframes. I do, but let's pretend that I don't. So anywhere-ish, so we need a flexible framework that actually can be
evaluate it everywhere and anywhere as much as we can. And then test that is driving architecture and design. So I want test to be a requirement, because why every time we start bickering around, oh, how long are the passwords? Oh, how long are the timeouts on the sessions? Oh, it depends on the use cases. Okay, so basically, the tests are our use cases for non-functional requirements. Let me, sorry, rewind. Non-functional requirements is something that must be baked in into a solution, especially if we're talking about security. So those tests will drive the delivery of a solution. And they're pretty much saying, like, do this because it's good. Auditors agree. Risk assessors agree. So just do it. And as a result, I would like to answer the question, is it secure? I don't know how many of you in this position, but as enterprise security architect, a lot of folks come to me and say like, hey, Ole, here is a bunch of papers. Tell me, is it secure? I go, oh, okay. That's great. Give me 10 years. And then I come back. Oh, but we need it yesterday. I still need 5 years? So anyhow, it doesn't go really well, but there is other tricks, and we can talk offside about that, how one can evaluate without the minimum inputs. And then the results can drive the risk-based decision-making. So here's a trick. Not all tests, that also known as requirements, can be applied, because some of them are extremely cost prohibitive. So yes, we can test for it. Yes, we know that we will fail, but that's okay, because we accept this risk. Yeah, and this is, you know what? I was that naive at the beginning of my career that I really, really would like everything to be absolutely secure. Budget is the thing, so that's impossible. So that's where we're going. So basically, those tests will help us to make a data-driven decision based on outcomes. All right, so what do we solve for? All right, so I don't know. I truly try to do internet thing. It's called searching. And I've tried to understand for my own sanity what is initial compromise. So how we get compromised as a small business, as a big business, as an individuals. So apparently I found 3 sources. I put it there, down there, so they're legit. I don't know, but at least they're on the internet. Mandiant, I do trust. I think we have some representatives here. Kaspersky, I despise because it's a Russian-based company, but yes, I do have a reference because I couldn't find another one. And also I've read a book by Tim Raines, and he also used some sort of that. So this is pretty much initial compromise recipe. So one of these things brings an evil people in. So unpatchable vulnerabilities, we won't be able to test for that in the delivery. Because I'm talking about not software development, I'm talking about solution delivery on top with the software. So I'm not doing this test, or at least this is not an idea. It can be grown in, but we're not talking about vulnerabilities. Weak leaked and stolen credentials. Okay, we can enforce some password complexity, blah, 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 but it does not directly address it through the testing, so no. Social engineering, I don't know, we have generative AI today, so maybe we can do some magic, I don't know. Insider threats, that's the toughest one. It's hard to do something about it. So we will be looking at security misconfigurations. That's where the test shines. That's basically what the previous speaker was talking about, to test your thing. So that's where the tests are focused, to prevent misconfiguration, to help us with the clear conscience, go to bed or have a drink after a long work day. So like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're good. So basically, structurizer. And this slide is just randomly inserted here, but I want to give the audience a feel that architecture as a code is a possibility. So on the left-hand side, you can see the code. And there is a tools that are generating visual representation of this code. So why I'm so obsessed with code? there's tons of benefits, and not only for developers, like not for programmers or coders, but there is tons of benefits for all of us. And one of these benefits, most of the code, if you do it right, are version control. So we already have a track for all of that, so it is pretty awesome. So let's talk about how could we do it. So this is just, I'll stop saying so, my apologies. How could we do it? Here is an idea, and I'll give you a little taste of this idea. So I'm battling with my soul, so thank you very much for bearing with me. If we take already existing frameworks and write the code and shower it through continuous integration, continuous deployment pipeline, then we can do the magic. We can evaluate our solution and make sure that it is secure enough. And if it is secure enough, then we can say, yeah, deploy it to prod. And if it's not, we discard it and put it back on someone's desk to improve on it. So at this moment, I'm not sure where it's coming from, but let's do this. So let's see a couple codes here and there, and actually I will potentially need the internet, but I did put something together. Yes, I will need the internet for that. So anyhow, let's disregard. So there is a couple repositories that we can work, or I'm willing to share with community. I already started writing some Gherkin representation of it, but let's actually look in the pipeline. Promise, I ran it less than an hour ago, so it's good, it's legit. Couple ideas. Your pipelines might look differently, that's how I do it. So I'm using Jenkins, so it's an open source CI/CD tool. We pull from version control system our code. Then I usually do a prepare environment state. So yes, I wrote something in Python to humor you all, and you can judge me all you want when I share the repository. And then basically what happens there, architecture into the Terraform. And this is a concept. So I'm using a structurizer, and this is pretty much the structurizer way of things are looking. Hypothetically and practically, I want to achieve hit conversion into some sort of this. And this is a JSON output of the Terraform plan. So basically, that's an aspiration. Is it done yet? No, it's just for show, but I could lie to you as much as I can. I don't do lie thing. So it is just to give you a taste what is possible. And now, yes, that's actually code. So when I told you about the human readable requirements, so that's how Gherkin is looking. So it's a pretty readable thing, and basically one can read through it and understand what it's asking for. Particularly here, we're looking about session, lock after inactivity, and so on and so forth. So what I've done, I've put some Python code together and converted it into OPA. So it's Open Policy Agent. Why OPA? Because it's cloud native, it's pretty cool and powerful, but it's complicated to read for a human being. In order to test it, we need something that fits everywhere. Then on the testing side, this is a positive test, so we're testing for 3 things. All of them are pass, and voila, we're ready to deploy. So we're ready to trigger Terraform apply. There might be different frameworks. I wish I have more time. I don't, and again, I don't want to be between lunch and everyone else. So this is an idea, and you've just seen it. Some of pieces are ready, some of pieces are not. The point is that it is possible. And there is a couple links for you to familiarize yourself with the tooling. All right, so are you in? I literally tried to sell it. Unfortunately, I'm not that great of a salesman, or am I? I don't know, you will be my judges. But the point is that code and data-driven decisions is the real thing. And we, as a community, if we write this test together, we can boost misconfiguration security. We can eliminate that. If we do it right, we can run real tests and get real data points and make our decisions based on the applicable risks to the solution or organization. And I'm really here to spark this interest to this, and actually please come talk to me, because I want to make it happen. I really do, and that would be it. I'm very open for questions and follow-up conversations. I think I'm on time, so thank you very much. I hope it was informative.